Hello and welcome to Cut to the Board in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always, I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete.
Hello.
And today we're going to be slightly sciencey.
Yes.
The science officer's choice this week.
That's right.
We're going to talk about exoplanets, and we're going to go through some of the weirder ones that they found, how we find them, what they are, and just how fecking weird they are.
Loving it.
Space, people. Space.
Are we going to see some aliens?
No, just alien worlds.
We don't know there's life
There
there.
might be life there.
We don't know.
We don't know yet. No.
Because Blackburn lost today as well. That's put me on a downer.
England are losing as we speak in rugby.
We missed a penalty and they conceded a goal in the 92nd minute.
Liverpool won 2-0. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. It's been a shitey week in all fairness, but let's thank some new and returning listeners, or a selection of them that I will choose at random. Niles in Michigan, Telford, our hometown in the United Kingdom, shout out to you. Ankara in Turkey, Berlin, Germany, Phoenix, Arizona, Huntington in the UK, Cumming, Georgia, Isle of Wight, Makar in Saudi Arabia. Wouldn't get caught listening to us out there, buddy. Banja Luka in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Thank fuck for football internationals, otherwise I'd have no idea how to pronounce that. Peterborough in the United Kingdom, Surbiton in the United Kingdom, Bologna in Italy, Groningen in the Netherlands, Oral in Kazakhstan.
What a
I
great
was drawn
place.
to that one.
Yeah, were you there?
Viv, Ukraine.
Wow, Ukraine, someone's listening to us in the Ukraine.
Welcome and
Spread
good
the
luck.
word,
And
Ukraine.
we're on your side.
I'm
don't
with
be
you,
worried,
buddy.
My friend.
If I could send you an anti-tank missile personally, I would, but civilians aren't allowed to own one, with our draconian laws. But yeah, where would
Peace,
you?
Love with you, mate.
Kolkata in India, Toledo, Spain, Dublin, Ireland, Madrid, Spain, Dexter, Missouri,
Yep.
Pinner in the UK, Aliso Viejo in California,
Nice.
yeah, Bengaluru in India, Guadalajara, Spain, and Ashburn, Virginia.
Hey, Ashburn.
Hello, thanks for listening.
Indubitably.
So, let's ask the question. What's an exoplanet?
Is it a planet that's got life on it, or that something like Earth? Earth-like planet?
No, it just basically means a planet that's not in our
Oh.
solar system.
It's something that's orbiting another sun,
Yeah.
basically.
You mean, I spent all this time
not
doing...
always. There are some planets out there that don't orbit a sun that have been thrown out of a solar system.
Yeah, but they probably would have orbited
They
the sun
would
at
have
some
some
point.
planets.
Yeah.
I spent all this time doing fan art of planets wearing some sort of weird exosuit. Great. Oh well. So, exoplanets are planets orbiting distant stars beyond our solar system, and today astronomers calculate that for every star we can see in the night sky, there is on average at least one exoplanet in orbit around it.
Now, does anyone know how many stars you can see in the night sky?
742,463.
Lower.
Oh.
Wow.
300,000,
Lower.
Really?
100,000,
Lower.
1900.
Higher.
5,000.
700.
Very close. 4,000 approximately.
Oh, okay.
That's obviously without light pollution.
Yeah.
That's the maximum you can see with the naked eye.
Okay.
That's because they're too far away to see with the naked eye.
But I've been in parts of Saudi Arabia where it's completely pitch black at night.
Yep.
But they'll just be
And
bright,
you can
won't they?
literally just see
Thousands of stars,
like
yeah.
a sheet.
Yeah.
But for as far as your eye can see, sure, if you could somehow count them all, I reckon you'd be counting more than 4,000.
That's what they reckon, and this is some astronomers.
But is that on average though, is it?
Well, I guess with 20/20 vision, you know, with no light pollution, the maximum you can see is about 4,000.
It's just mad because, like I say, it's just...
It looks like a lot more, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just picturing what I've seen in
But picture,
my
can you
early years.
picture 4,000 people? Well, that looks like I can't in a crowd.
I kind of
Well, one side of a
Well, they
stadium.
can, yeah.
The only reason I can is from when I watched Lee Evans live, and I remember counting the seats in the square bit at the front because we were stood right at the back.
You don't have to have a good time, don't you?
No, you're waiting at the beginning, and I was thinking, God, how many people are there? And I was like that.
Then he
One, two-
works out how, times the ticket price.
Times the ticket price.
No, I just like counted the row, and there's like bloody hell,
How many
there's
spare
like.
seats here?
I remember thinking, there's like 400 people in that section there, and then there was like lots of squares of people. I was like, fucking hell, there's a few thousand people sat down there.
Usually people have a beer.
I was so bored waiting.
Over 300 spare seats.
No, we got there about
I'm not
half an
impressed.
hour early, so we were just sat there waiting for like half an
Have
hour.
another beer then.
I was driving, I couldn't drink, so
Oh, that's your mistake.
I had to keep myself occupied.
Well, everyone's got their kinks. Now, the concept of exoplanet is hardly new. As far back as 1584, Italian philosopher Giandro Bruno suggested that space was filled by an infinity of worlds of the same kind as our own.
And then he was burned at the stake.
Probably.
Which?
And of course, there's every possibility these do hold life, isn't there? That's the thing. We're looking outside our solar system, they're orbiting the sun. There's the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, can we look at how far they are away from their own suns
And
and
see if there's any that are similar kind of distance as
Yeah,
we
we
are.
found some, yeah.
There's like 70 at the moment, isn't there? Something like that?
Is that
That we think could be capable of holding life. They're in the right zone.
And the chances are, if they've got bodies of water, end of,
Well, there's
they
been-
are holding life.
Well, you say that, but there's one
Yeah.
planet they found that's got a large body of water, but it also has a distinct disadvantage to living there. We'll get to that at the end.
Ooh.
It's got large bodies of water, there's also a very distinct
But
disadvantage.
if
not the
it's
burning
within
ice
that-
one?
But it's
No,
within
it's-
that
no,
sweet
we'll get to
zone.
it.
If it's within that sweet zone, like we are, and it's got water, and I suppose if there was somehow you could see with these awesome satellites that have got mega telescopes on them or whatever, and then you could see a bit of green and a bit of water, you could almost pretty well guarantee
it's just
there's
more-
life of some sort on there, even if it is just plant.
the way we're going to detect it is with the gases in the atmosphere.
Okay,
If there's
yeah,
oxygen,
of
there's
course.
life.
Yeah.
Life as
potentially
we know
life.
it.
Yeah.
That's why fire.
Fire. Sorry. Every time someone says fire, I have to do it. So I also at the TA.
The only known occurrence of fire is on our planet
Ooh.
because you have to have, I think it's between 17 and 21% oxygen
Yeah.
for fire to burn. Well, we're the only planet that we know of life that has that amount of oxygen, so every other planet there isn't fire that we know of.
Wow. I've just been blown away by science, and not in an ejaculatory way.
I was.
Wow. Wow.
Brian
So-
Cox.
Cox. Over the past century, numerous authors, TV directors and film producers set their stories on planets beyond our own solar system. But in the summer of 1991, it seemed that exoplanets were finally about to switch from science fiction to science fact.
Dun dun dun.
Sci-fi.
Sci-fact.
Sci-fi.
Oh, sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
Ah.
It's some third rock from the sun.
Ah,
Who
interesting.
remembers that?
I do vaguely remember that.
It was great,
I
wasn't it?
love it. It was on Channel 4 not that long ago, and I
Probably still trotting around, to be fair.
caught most of it. It was on in the mornings,
Yeah.
but yeah, I caught most of that like a couple of years back now. Yeah, I
Got a
loved
bit
it.
shit towards the end, didn't it? But
Yeah.
That's the problem with Americans, they never know when to kill off a sitcom.
No, first 2 or 3 series were genius.
oh yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, the first exoplanet was discovered when observations carried out at Jodrell Bank Observatory in Cheshire, not that far from us. I got
No.
dragged there on a school trip a couple of
I've been on a
times.
School trip,
Only about
yeah.
70 miles away, innit?
I've never been.
Haven't
I've
it?
never, no.
Oh, you'd love that shit.
I
You'd
know.
make love to one of those satellites.
Maybe we should go.
It's got a planetarium and everything on it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go.
Have a field trip.
Yeah, man. We'll do our podcast
They're,
live.
Yeah.
You know, as you're coming towards them, the satellites, you know, as you're driving towards them, they're huge. Huge.
Wow.
You never been that way on the motorway and seen them because you can see them from the road.
Yeah.
No.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've always driven myself up there, so
Yeah, you're not really
You don't
looking
notice
unless
shit
someone
like
points
that,
it,
do
you?
points it out.
They detected a planet orbiting a pulsar, which is the dense remnant of an already exploded star. Now, pulsars are so called because thanks to their rapid rotation, the beams of light they emit sweep across Earth at regular intervals. From our perspective, pulsars appear to flicker like a lighthouse beam, and the rate at which the pulses are seen from Earth implies the pulsar's spin rate, so the faster it's spinning, more light. Makes sense. Unfortunately, the team at Jodrell Bank soon discovered a systematic error in the software used to analyse the pulsar data. Though once corrected, the detectable drag on the pulsar's spin, thought to have been due to unseen planet's mass, vanished. Yet immediately after, Jodrell Bank's Andrew Lyne had officially retracted his team's findings at the January 1992 meeting of the American Astronomical Society held in Atlanta, he was followed on stage by Alexander Vulshan, I believe that's how you say it, Vulshan, principal author of a paper that detailed his own detection of at least 2 planets around another pulsar. And this was it was the first confirmed discovery of exoplanets. So he's gone there and gone, yeah, there was a glitch in our software. We don't think any of this is true. And then he comes on immediately after and goes, yeah, it's fucking true.
I found 2.
Found 2? Well, you got Jodrell Bank.
Yeah.
And we had some. It was our software broke, sir. Shut up, Jodrell Bank.
Embarrassing.
But there's more than 4,000 stars in that picture.
Yeah, but that's a shot of the universe. And it's pretty an artist impression. And then that's Jupiter. So, yeah, you'd see a lot more from Jupiter than you would from Earth.
Why is that?
It's further out, isn't it? Quite a way out.
Yeah, I suppose it, yeah.
So Wolfgang was particularly interested in millisecond pulsars which spun hundreds of times a second. He had found it difficult to devise a sufficiently accurate mathematical model to explain how one particular millisecond pulsar designated, and that's the thing with exoplanets, the names are a bit dull,
Oh, yeah.
PSR B1 257 plus 12. Catchy.
Nice.
Catchy.
Really catchy.
You know how that was behaving. Every time I came up with a model and then took some more data, the model failed to predict the pulse arrival times, he says. And following a concentrated observation period of almost a month, Vulshan began to see a regular glitch in the rate that pulses reached Earth. Now, many pulsars have companion dwarf stars providing material and energy, but Vulshan realised that the observed peculiarities in these pulses were best explained by the existence of 2 planetary mass objects around the star.
So as it comes past it,
It winks out.
yeah.
And they're like, well, what's causing that? It's got to be a planet, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it some kind of giant space creature that we don't know about? Space squids, space whales, void monsters.
Space dragons.
Or an opposite of a solar
Space
flare,
dragons.
it just go, you know, the sun just goes a bit dimmer.
But I guess if you're doing it for a month and it's regular, and it's timed and there's a
Yeah.
huge of time in it, then I guess that it'd have to be, wouldn't it, if it's regular as clockwork?
Yep.
So unlike the Jodrell Bank team, Wolfgang knew that his result wasn't simply down to something in the data analysis software. I said analysis!
Hey!
Hey! Finally! As he had previously observed another binary pulsar that had not shown the same irregularities. And together with a fellow astronomer, Dale Frail,
Dale Frail.
Wolfgang's recordings were independently confirmed several months later. And then in 1995, an exoplanet was discovered for the first time around a sun-like star, 51 Pegasi, better name.
That's
Nice.
the star, yeah.
Yeah, better name. By Michael Mayer and Didier Quiloz. This hot Jupiter, a massive gas giant in close orbit around its parent star, also came as a complete surprise. So by finding different types of exoplanets, astronomers can learn much more about our own solar system. We know that hot Jupiters, for example, can't have formed so close to their stars, so they must have formed farther out and moved in. This suggests planets can move from their original formation sites, and then the suggestion that in the early days of our own solar system, there was a lot of movement, Jupiter and Saturn moving in, Neptune and Uranus perhaps being pushed out, Uranus, perhaps being pushed out and even swapping places. It's supposed that this giant gas ballet is likely to have caused the late heavy bombardment, a period about 500,000 years after the formation of the solar system, during which large amounts of material were fired towards the inner planets.
Is that what's the asteroid belt now?
Yeah, pretty much. The most thing that's beneficial to us is when we find something like a super Earth that don't exist in our own solar system. And the more we learn about other star systems, the more unusual our own solar system appears.
Could be human race's saviours if we find like a habitable planet, couldn't we?
Mm?
If you could somehow reach that distance.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I think it takes 40,000 years to reach the nearest star by chemical propulsion.
Whoa.
So
No,
That's some serious amounts of adrenochrome to keep you young.
Well, either you'd have to find a way to freeze ourselves,
Stasis, yeah.
or
go faster than light.
be multi-generational.
Yeah, multi-generational.
So you'd have 40,000 years of existing in space on a spaceship.
You'd soon get inbred. That you could manage it.
Or somehow you can have robots birth people on the planet through artificial wombs.
Okay.
I don't trust them robots, Mike.
But then they'd have to care for the babies until they were old enough, so it'd have to be high technology.
What if, once we're out of our solar system, things change a little bit that they've never really understood or seen, and time slows down? But yet...
Well, that goes against the laws of physics, doesn't
As
it?
we understand them.
As we understand them.
Yeah, but they do say when you get close to a black hole, time slows down, things like that.
Well, that's like a phenomena, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you know there's not some other phenomena that's
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
past our solar
I mean,
system? It kind of does that.
That's a
It
good point.
could give you the ability.
No, because we can see our whole galaxy spinning.
Yeah.
If we can see our whole galaxy spinning, that suggests that they're on the same time frame as us. You know, and we can see other galaxies.
Find a black hole, you could slingshot around it and use its gravitational pull to make you go faster.
No, because every planet's going to have its own time zone, Claire. Because
Yeah,
it's going to go
every
around
planet,
the
Venus or
sun.
something.
You know, that's how it's measured in time, isn't it? Or
That's
most
the day,
likely.
isn't it? Yeah.
The day and night, we presume aliens do it that way.
Venus's days are a lot shorter than ours, aren't they?
Yeah, because it's got a shorter orbit, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's got the potential to have different times, but it won't feel any slower to you. If you get what I mean.
Time will still be time.
But in an infinite universe, anything is possible, and maybe there's something out there we haven't seen that maybe does distort time in a way. We don't know that. We haven't seen it. And we've got infinite things to find out about the universe.
Say we could reach a black hole, like in a couple of years or something, and you got within touching distance of that black hole, the time does slow down, and then you got out of it and came back to Earth.
Everyone on Earth would
Chances
be aged
are
hundreds of years. And we would have only aged a
That's
bit.
the thing. That's kind of what I'm wondering. And then is there something that lies along that kind of concept that would allow you to travel further, faster? I don't know. With
Black
that,
holes crush
You
you.
got wormholes, haven't you? There's a possibility.
yeah, there's all sorts of yeah. But I do think the only realistic way is like faster than light.
If you could bend space and
Bend gravity. Use gravity to bend space and time. And create little short wormholes.
yeah,
We're not that powerful.
But then isn't gravity something that's only unique to us as well?
No, the gravity's everywhere. Gravity's in everything.
Gravity on Mars,
The nucleus
gravity on
of
the moon.
the atoms which make up everything are held together by gravity.
we don't know why
Because we're
gravity's so
spinning
weak.
at
The reason they can
rate-
splitting the atom requires a huge amount of energy because they're all held together so tightly by gravity.
Gravity is dependent on how fast we're spinning, doesn't it? And you know, the Earth is spinning at
That's how big it is.
It's how big it is it?
Yeah, the mass.
Yeah.
That's why black holes and mass is massive. That's why they can distort space-time.
We'll be fucked up that though.
There is every chance, of course, that Einstein was wrong and made a mistake somewhere because we base all of our laws of physics on Einstein stuff.
A lot, yeah.
But if he made a mistake in a calculation and it took him 50 years to realise, hey, maybe you can go faster than the speed of light. I mean, the guy from Boeing said that. We mentioned that several times. The guy who ran the
It's possible.
Boeing
Anything's
Skunk Works.
possible.
He said we have the technology to
Stephen
take E.T.
Hawking.
home. He said that.
Didn't Stephen Hawking check all Einstein's shit out?
Yeah, but
Doesn't mean that
He may
he's
not be
right.
clever
Still
enough to
some of it's still theoretical.
And
isn't
also,
it?
we don't know that Hawking wasn't a government shill.
Maybe he was a robot.
You know, maybe he's like, he says like, oh yeah, by the way, I won't do a Stephen Hawking voice, but he says, oh, by the way, UK government, I've done some research and found out that Einstein made a mistake, and we can go faster than light. They just like, okay, shut the fuck up about that and pay him a load of money. Here's a new wheelchair, buddy. Go for it.
No.
Oh.
No, I'm not buying that.
Nah. I think he was a great man.
I have a lot of respect for Hawking.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Yep.
R.I.P.D. indeed. The thing is, these exoplanets are fucking strange. That's because they're all it's infinite galaxy, infinite possibilities. Personally, I think that it's mankind's manifest destiny to go out there and inhabit the stars. I think we have to, as a species, we have to stop looking at ourselves as separate entities on one planet and go, you know.
We need to stop killing ourselves and killing this planet first.
When we could be killing aliens in space wars and taking their worlds.
I don't think we should be setting off without knowing that, you know, one of these exoplanets is in the Goldilocks zone and provides, you know.
Yeah, but you know, on massive colony ships we could all build, we could send out people in.
You go on a colony ship then, see you later.
I'm not going
It'd be
around.
multi-generational in that scenario. Or we're all frozen in stasis, and we go out there, we crash, we land,
There's
and we.
baby steps in it. First of all, we've got to colonise Mars. Surely. That's number one.
No,
That's
void
like-
ships, Mike, straight out there. We're just gonna go until we hit summit.
Why
Mars hasn't
Mars?
got enough water and stuff.
It
has
has.
It's got ice, hasn't it, Mars?
It's got ice, yeah. The
But why
poles,
Mars?
it's got water underneath, maybe.
Which way's Mars?
Trapped in the permafrost.
It's the next planet to us. You can't say which way is it.
Close to the-
It changes constantly.
It's close to the sun. Or
Further
No,
away.
it's further
the
away.
next one along.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because we don't want to, you know, because in how many million years are we going to be engulfed by the sun? Million, billion
Oh
years?
god, it's
Oh,
we're talking
4
hundreds of
billion.
millions, hundreds of billions.
No, probably about another 2 billion for it engulfs the Earth.
Well, it'll become inhabitable long
Yeah,
before
eventually,
that,
yeah.
So
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got to start thinking of something.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of time, but we should get on it.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we need to sort this planet out first. Stop
No,
killing
just
ourselves.
abandon it, Mike. It's ruined. Get to the next
Well,
one.
we've only got 300 billion years. Let's go.
Forget it. It's gone.
Straight in
Well,
the bin.
maybe there's aliens out there that won't let us until we learn these lessons.
Then we'll wipe them out because that's what humanity is good at: finding new things and killing them.
Maybe aliens will get to us by the time that, you know.
Oh, they're already here. They're already here, Claire. We all know this.
Or maybe there are no aliens.
Or maybe they're listening to this podcast now and they're going to put in a preemptive strike now because they've just heard who they think is the leader of the world, Ben, say they're going to kill the aliens. They're going to kill us all. Oh, we're doomed. We're doomed. It's game over, man. It's game over.
We've got to get there first, son.
Your recklessness and hubris has cost us.
It's doomed us all.
They can't be listening to this because it's got to be put out on radio waves, isn't it? And it would, like, you know, go through the
Are you
galaxy
telling me
slowly,
that aliens haven't got the technology
Yeah.
to listen to our tinto?
One, radio waves travel at the speed of light.
Right, okay.
Do they?
Yep.
Wow. I guess.
So in some galaxy far, far away, you know, any radio waves that we've sort of produced over the last, whatever, you know, 50,000 years.
50,000 years?
I'd-
We had
I'd
radio
have
for
said-
100
I'd have
years,
said
I think.
like- I was going to say 100 like.
50,000 years.
How long's radio been at? 140 years?
1890s something, 1880 something maybe.
Anyway, ever
radios.
since then,
So it's 100,
50,000
say
years.
150 years.
150 years.
So it's 150 light years away our first radio signals are reaching now.
There we go.
Yeah.
100.
So the nearest planet is, I think, 4 light years away, is it?
Mm.
So the radio waves have gone way past that now.
Oh man, there's some aliens out there listening to the Titanic sinking.
Yeah, it'd be pretty scary, wouldn't it? We're getting all these, like, you know, sounds from a far, far
Yeah.
away world.
Imagine all the World
Imagine
War
if-
II kind of.
Imagine if we
radio
picked that
waves
up
kept
from an
right
alien
over.
race.
Mm.
I mean, like a soap opera every week, wouldn't it? What's happening on Quagar
Ah,
this week?
yeah.
Well, at first you wouldn't know what they were saying, you know, because we're just, you know, they were.
Alien language, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you have to
Scat man.
the scat talking, Claire? There's a bunch of jazz speaking aliens out there. In
Oh,
which case,
scat
I am.
man.
If they we encounter aliens and they talk in scat, we're gonna wipe them out.
I'm going to dance with them.
I'm not having that.
Maybe
No
Scatman was
Fielding
an
would be
alien.
at the front of the.
We're just gonna.
Wouldn't he with a sword or something?
Maybe Scatman John was an alien.
That's just my
I hope
impression of
not.
an alien, like, you know.
I'm the
Dialect.
Scatman.
Have you ever seen the film Arrival?
No.
Yes.
And they meet aliens are like big giant squid things, and they
Okay.
communicate with their ink, don't they?
That's
They
right.
spray ink and they draw pictures, and
Okay.
but because their concept of time is different to us, it's really quite complicated, isn't it?
It's when they meet the aliens, it's very complicated.
Explain stone on the podcast. Right, any research?
We'll leave that there then.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's on Netflix, so people can watch it.
yeah, and there's a linguist, and she has to try and work out what they're saying. And in the end, she figures out some basic.
Yeah.
Can converse with the aliens, but it might be something as weird as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Absolutely.
They could communicate by sticking their things in each other's orifices.
It could
That's
do.
what they've been doing all these years.
Well, like Avatar, I guess. You know, where they connect those bloody
That was
things
a bit
up.
weird, I thought.
Ah, I thought that movie sucked.
I think it was alright.
I liked it.
Well, that hippie bullshit in the middle of it ruined it.
And a good story.
Let's all
I'd
sit
do
round. Let's all sit round the Earth tree. Oh, fuck off!
I'd do that blue woman.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't do the blue chick. That's what I do. I'm a slut for aliens.
The
Especially
green
10
chick
foot.
on Star Trek.
The
as
Star
well.
Trek. Oh, the green chick. Oh, she's my ideal woman. The green with the red hair.
They did.
Absolutely. Goddamn Kirk. Second best captain.
Yep.
Next to Picard.
Picard's best.
Yeah.
Picard's a superior captain. Anyway, so since the discovery of the first exoplanets in the 1990s, all manner of weird and wonderful worlds have been found orbiting distant stars beyond our solar system. And who wouldn't want to leave Earth the promise of an interplanetary trip to a strange exoplanet? Yeah.
Well, you, but not me.
I'll do it. Got nothing else going on. With thousands confirmed, the number of exoplanets discovered growing daily, you may get lucky. About half the sun-like stars out there are thought to have the potential to host life. That's about 300 million potentially habitable worlds in our galaxy. But don't pack your bags just yet, as some of these weird planets show you may be in for the holiday from hell. And with a wealth of new exoplanet hunting missions in the pipeline, there could be plenty more strange worlds discovered over the coming years. Who wants to do the first one?
Whoa.
HD 198773b, where it rains glass sideways.
That's the water planet I was on about.
Is it actual glass or is it,
Yeah.
This is a nightmare world, and it's only 64 light years away, and the closest hot Jupiter to Earth. It may look gorgeous with deep blue marble floating, what's that? Serenely in space, but if you had the misfortune to visit the massive giant, you'd soon regret it. As well as being spun furiously by winds blowing at 8,700 kilometres per hour, you'd also be cut to shreds by glass. So it's got to be real glass.
Yeah,
glass rain.
The planet's delightful blue colour is the reflection of the silicate, its atmosphere. The silicate that was heated when the planet's definitely 1,300 degrees centigrade temperature forms grains of glass. So what it is, it's like the
Centigrade.
centigrade, yeah.
That's what it was.
The silicon in the atmosphere is so hot that it forms glass and then it rains down.
That's fucking
Because
mad.
sand's made of glass,
Yeah.
isn't it? So it could have been like a really sandy
Sand's not
sort
made
of.
of glass. Glass is made of sand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Don't.
Mike?
bit.
Okay, next one, TOI-849b, a world stripped bare. Discovered in 2020, it's no fun at all on TOI-849b. This exoplanet orbits so tightly to its star that a year passes in 18 hours.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a birthday every 18 hours.
It's happy birthday to you.
Oh, you should imagine the hangover.
Happy birthday, yeah, you're drinking and then you wake up.
If a year's 18 hours, how long's a fucking day? So you'd be like, wake up like
3 minutes.
You wake up and it's like, oh, morning, I'm just going to get some breakfast. Oh, it's bedtime. Good night. Oh, it's morning. Good morning. It's
Happy birthday.
Bedtime. Good night.
Happy birthday to you.
You wouldn't do that with us, ridiculous.
Because it's spinning round so fast, it'd still be going like dark and light.
Do you think it would be relevant though?
Would it go dark and light?
relevant
I guess
on there?
so.
Our body clock is suited to this Earth, so
That's what
even
I
on
mean.
that planet, it would still be, so we'd get tired after about 16 hours.
Yeah, so
It will be like...
So we need some, what you're saying is, Mike, we need blackout curtains.
Yes, definitely. And a lot of air conditioning.
Yeah.
Because the temperature's 1,530 degrees Celsius.
Oh, like Spain in the summer.
It's alright, we'll just find an English bar and have a fry up every morning.
It's the largest rocky world yet discovered, 40 times as massive as Earth. It may even be the first Chthonian planet to be detected. I don't know what that means. The exposed remnant core of a gas giant that has had its atmosphere blasted away.
It's had the gas atmosphere, so it's like a Jupiter, it's had its gas blasted off it by the sun. So it's just a ball of rock now. Rock and metal, I guess.
Oh, so this is WASP 12b. I like the sound of that one, that's a cool name. Puffed up planet in a death spiral.
Metal tonight.
So, just 3 million or so years from its eventual fiery demise, WASP 12b is spiralling inexorably inwards towards doom at the hands of its yellow dwarf host star. New research has shown that the planet, close to 600 light years away in the Auriga constellation, is now close to...
So close.
It's now so close that it's begun wobbling and distorting under the spell of the star's gravity, whilst intense stellar radiation has caused it to swell up so much that it's falling apart.
Yeah. It's actually ripping. As you go around the sun's actually ripping off part of the planet into its atmosphere.
So it's gone off its, like, you know, sort of usual orbit and it's spiralling into it.
Yeah.
It only needs to be sort of knocked off, you know, if something would come and, like an asteroid come and knocked it off direction, that could start that, couldn't it?
Depends how big it is.
It's eventually
Because if the
go anyway,
asteroid
isn't
is
it?
going to get swallowed up by the planet, it's not going to be big enough. You'd need another planet.
To have bashed that.
Yeah, otherwise it's just going to get so close to the sun that the gravity will just break it up and pull it towards it. Yeah.
You know, that just supports the theory of planets flying about the place like pool balls, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, have you got some that get caught in the orbits?
Oh yeah,
and other ones that are just, you know...
it's a nice segue that is,
Going
Claire.
into space, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice segue because that's exactly what this one is. Rogue worlds, exoplanets on the loose.
On the loose.
On the loose. Many exoplanets may be scary and inhospitable, and they may come in different sizes, colours and densities, but at least they all reliably do one thing: orbit a star. Or do they? While most planets are locked in orbit around their sun, some worlds are actually roaming the galaxy untethered, like rogue samurais.
They're
Or
uninhabitable though, aren't they?
Guns for hire.
They've got nothing to...
Heat it.
Yeah.
They're
No
just
energy,
big
yeah.
cold
Big
rocks.
globs.
Yeah.
Until they get into that position. Probably by killing the sheriff.
But see, there's a chance that could go close to another star, catch an orbit, and then regenerate itself over time. You never know.
Yeah, possibly, but the distance between stars, like I said, is
So
massive.
fast.
Yeah.
But
So it
how
would take a
long
long
are they
time.
travelling? You never know, do you?
Yeah. The universe is 14 billion years old, I reckon.
Same as radio.
And if you got close enough to a star, then the gravity would pull it towards it, yeah.
The cosmic ballet goes on.
You press
But
pause.
there'll be nothing alive on it when it finds its new world, if it ever does.
Someone
Mike,
needs
can
a
you,
wee.
can you...
Yeah, you've not been hearing that. You've not been hearing Claire said she wants to have a break.
No?
Boston Frothy!
So catching sight of these hard to detect rogue planets will be one of the tasks for NASA's Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, coming online around 2025. Coming to a space thing near you.
Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace Roman. Interesting. One such planet is OT44, located 550 light years away in the constellation Chameleon. No one sing the song. The cosmic wonder is 11 times more massive than Jupiter and is thought to have a circumstellar disk of dust, rock and ice. The recently identified OGLE-2016-BLG-1928 is another. Likely smaller than Earth, it's one of the lowest mass objects ever found using micro-lensing techniques.
Cool. 55 Canceri E, a diamond planet.
Ooh, look at the fucking size of that compared to the Earth. There's a picture, listener, and
I'd
But
say,
5 times.
yeah.
easy 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 5. Yeah,
No,
maybe
4, I'd say 4 times the size of Earth and very turquoise in colour. This exoplanet in orbit around the Sun-like host star 55 Canceri A may be a real gem. The first super-Earth discovered around a main sequence star. It was thought to be so abundant in carbon that, thanks to an immense pressure of 2,700 degrees Celsius temperatures, its interior was made out of diamond.
Fuck yeah.
Ace.
Elon Musk is going to be sending his rockets there to try and mine it.
Yeah, but it's got no heat coming from the middle.
You say that, but diamonds have their price massively overflated. There's no shortage of diamonds. If they got that planet, it'd be the last thing they'd ever go to because it'd drive the price of diamonds right down, wouldn't it?
Everyone would be proposing left, right, and centre.
They would. Poor fools.
that was a marketing thing as well. Get people to associate diamonds with engagement.
Yeah. Oh, we did that on the marketing one, didn't we? And advertisements.
Yep, check it out, listen it.
Yep.
Marketing disasters.
Marketing
That's the one.
disasters. Like Coca-Cola saying that their Coke was full of spunk.
Their water.
Oh yeah, their water was full of spunk. Even worse in a way.
Okay, next up is TRES-2b, the darkest exoplanet.
I bet that's where all the Sith live.
Looks very Sith-like.
It does look a bit Sith-like, doesn't it?
It's so black you can hardly make out its shape. Light just seems to fall into it. Hitchhiker's Ford prefect may have been describing hot black Desiato's limo ship, but he could just as easily have been talking about TRES-2b, identified by NASA's Kepler Space Telescope in 2011. It's the darkest known exoplanet, reflecting less than 1% of any light that hits it. It orbits a star some 750 light years away in the direction of the constellation Draco,
Oh.
Ooh.
and is the darkest planet or moon ever discovered. Is it the home world to the reptilians?
Well, one of their home worlds, you
They'd
can
be
say.
white, wouldn't they? Because there'd be
Yeah.
no light, there'd be no light getting to it.
I mean, it's
They
sucking the light in because they want the heat to warm their cold-blooded reptilian bodies. Sucks all the light in.
So it's really hot down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, David Kipping from the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics says it's darker than the blackest lump of coal.
Well, there you go. I've never handled that much coal in my life, but I'll take his word for it.
Kelt 9b.
The hottest exoplanet. Ultra-hot Jupiter-type exoplanet Kelt 9b is so scorching that it's even hotter than many stars. It orbits so close to the Sun that the surface sizzles at 4,300 Celsius.
Fucking hell.
It's so hot that it has an atomic iron and titanium in its atmosphere. Okay, so
And a year lasts less than a day and a half.
yeah, a year lasts less than a day and a half. Using data from the Spitzer Space Telescope,
Spitzer, I think it is.
Spitzer, researchers have found that the extreme temperatures on the planet's dayside cause molecules of hydrogen gas to tear apart, only to recombine when they flow over the relative cooler eternal nightshade. Before being torn apart once more, they move back into the furnace.
Rough. Sounds
Shocking.
like hell.
HR 5183b, the planet with the maddest orbit.
It's mad, I tell you.
It's
mad. There's that
mad!
video of it.
There is.
Yep.
HR 5183b is in no hurry to orbit its star. Discovered in 2019, it's a glumping giant, 3 times more massive than our biggest planet, Jupiter, that ambles round in a leisurely 74 years, which is far more than Saturn's 29 Earth years, but it's close to Uranus's 84 years.
Uranus.
What's strange though is its bizarre orbit, which sees it loitering on the outer reaches of its system before slingshotting into the centre, passing a hair's breadth from its host star before peeling away again.
Wow.
This mad behaviour has earned it the nickname the Whiplash Planet, and it's also been likened to a wrecking ball for its likely devastating effect on any other planets in the system that are trying to quietly orbit in a more orthodox system. It came in like a wrecking ball.
Can we see that little video?
Yeah, we just watched the video, haven't we?
Yep. You can check that
this
out.
orbit is so crazy that it crosses the path of 3 other little exoplanets. At one
Really
point,
close as well.
What was it called
one
again?
point in its life, one of those planets are going to get struck.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
What was it called
Yeah.
again, so the listener can go check it out? HR5183b.
Yeah.
You YouTube
Keep
that,
your
it's
eye
only
on
16
that.
seconds.
Okay, K218b, where swim may vaporise you. So K2, twice the radius and 8 times the mass of the Earth, has been a top contender for an Earth-like planet for years. So there was huge excitement when it was announced in 2019 that water had been discovered in K2's atmosphere. For the first time, we'd found a rocky planet orbiting in the habitable zone of the star, in which liquid water could potentially pool on the surface.
Well, that's good, right?
Yeah,
man.
that's good. How far is it away? Sorry.
Quite a way.
Say, yeah.
It didn't say, but it's quite a way.
It might say.
So before we could dream of luxuriating in exotic oceans, though, it came to view that K2 may be far less friendly than mini Neptune's planet, with a thick hydrogen atmosphere, a watery layer and a rocky iron core where temperatures and pressures are far too high to support life.
Oh, that's not so good.
No. New research suggests that K2 could hover in a third zone, planets that look like a gaseous mini Neptune but actually rocky planets covered in superheated, supercompressed seas where the water exists somewhere on the threshold between liquid and gas. Whoa.
That's not so good.
No, and it's topped by steamy water vapour atmosphere. Sadly, we have to put our swimming costumes away for now.
So go for a swim there and end up having your skin melted.
Got
Yeah.
it. I was looking forward to going there then. I
Yeah.
liked it all up and everything. Fucking hell.
Mike?
We have HAT P7b, an ultra hot Jupiter, dark as charcoal with a sapphire sky.
Ooh, sounds lovely.
It's larger than Jupiter and an orbital plane tilted 108 degrees relative to its host star, meaning it's almost in a polar orbit. It orbits the star so close that a year on this world is less than 3 days. In fact, it's over 20 times closer to the star than Earth is to the Sun. During daytime on HAT P7b, temperatures reach over 2,200 degrees C. That's hotter than many stars. Accordingly, the exoplanet is a kind known as an ultra-hot Jupiter. But it's also one of the darkest known worlds, about as dark as charcoal, absorbing over 97% of visible light that shines into it.
Oh, Jesus, imagine how hot that'd be on there.
Oh.
It's jet black and you're just stood there in a white spacesuit. And you just it's on fire immediately.
So none of these are really suitable for us, are they?
No, but they found how many thousands of exoplanets they found are potentially out there.
300 million, they said, didn't they?
It's gotta be.
Well, yeah, but potentially out there, yeah. I think we found about 5,000.
Right, we're gonna find Earth-like ones eventually. There's gotta be some floating around.
When this super scope gets up and away in 2025, so
Yeah.
3 years away, that might really shine a light on some very viable ones, mightn't it?
Yeah.
I would hope. And then
Still
they've
going to
just
be
got
quite
to,
out of reach.
then
for our
they've just got to
technology,
discover a way to get there, haven't they? A way to travel. But they must be on that. Otherwise, why would they be bothering? Do you know what I mean? They must be on.
Because we've got to start something, it's got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah. WASP 76b, the exoplanet that rains molten iron, which will put a crimp on your day, and I'd imagine would require you to wear some kind of hat. Spotted in 2013 and further investigated by the Espresso instrument on the Very Large Telescope in 2020, WASP 76b is a planet that is tidal locked permanently to its parent star, BD plus 01316. This means that one side of the planet permanently faces a star, causing scorchingly hot temperatures of around 4,532 degrees Fahrenheit or 2,500 degrees C, which is hot enough to vaporise iron.
So you'd need a hat that was made of something harder than iron.
Yes.
Or you need to
Titanium.
live on the cool side.
Or live on the cool side. Then
Wow.
freeze to death, potentially, though. Because the planet of WASP 76b, the side of it that faces away from it, is cooler by at least 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit or 1,000 degrees centigrade, but this means that when iron vapour is carried across the hemisphere by powerful winds, they are cooled, forming liquid droplets, and these droplets of molten iron that will then fall, bombarding the cooler side of the planet. Oh shit, that was my bad, sorry.
You could get a job like, getting the iron bits.
No, when they're
Harvesting them.
punching down like rain, the molten iron bullets punching down like rain, you need some kind of hat.
No, you'd have some sort of machinery to take the iron bits
You'd need
away.
something like
Build something else
a
out of
bigger
it.
tank. Like a much thicker armoured tank, wouldn't you? You just live in and go around in.
Live on the cold side. Harvest the iron bits to
But
make whatever you need to
More
make.
tanks.
More tanks.
But then you're stuck in a tank with your family.
With no sun at all.
No.
How'd you grow stuff?
You'd have to have like a hydroponics tank tagging along, wouldn't you? You'd have to make dashes too and stuff.
Nah, fuck that. This one sounds better.
Right,
Bit more
okay.
like
Gliese 1132b, a planet that grew a second atmosphere. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's similar to Earth in a striking number of ways. Its radius is only slightly larger, as is its mass. Even its age, 4.5 billion years old. It's similar to our planet. This world does have one difference. It orbits much closer to its red dwarf parent star, completing an orbit in just 1.6 Earth days.
not too similar then.
No.
0.6 a day out.
This proximity results in Gliese 1132b experiencing a much higher surface temperature than our planet. It'll be 278 degrees or 137 degrees C, so we still couldn't live there.
No.
No. Again, some kind of hat.
And it's got intense radiation stripping away its atmosphere.
So it comes with a big hat then. A suit of some kind.
We're not living there. Yet, astronomers have recently discovered that something extraordinary is happening on Gliese. The gravitational influence of its star, 20% larger than its sun,
Than the sun. Than our sun, creates intense tidal forces that squeeze and stretch the planet. This flexing gives rise to a violent volcanic activity and causes gases to rush onto the world's surface.
So we're not living there then.
No,
That's
so
a
it's
definite
hot and
out.
it's gassing you out every 5 minutes.
The
Yeah.
gases are building a second atmosphere.
And according to NASA, whilst this is exciting in itself, being the first time astronomers have ever spotted anything like this, the regrown atmosphere, due to its origin, also provides astrologists with the unique opportunity to study the interior chemical composition of the exoplanet by proxy.
So, if we have more volcanoes go off that are harmless, or vaguely harmless, does that mean that our atmosphere will grow back?
If it got stripped away.
Or repaired even? Or grew a new one over
But
time?
the trouble is that every time a volcano goes off on this planet, it's pumping CO2 into the air.
So that's not good then.
No.
No. Oh well.
Less volcanoes to be fair.
Less volcanoes, gotcha. We'll start a movement, we'll start a petition, we'll get it started, we want less volcanoes in the world.
I'll make some banners.
Do it, get some badges made too.
Yeah, man.
How about Upsilon Andromeda B, a world of fire and ice?
Well, I hope it's better than the fucking show.
Finally,
The
a
ending
cool
of the
name.
show.
The ending of the show, you're right.
It was awesome until the last season.
Yeah. The final episode, mate. The final episode killed it. Let's make Bran our king. Yeah, why not?
let's not reopen old wounds, man.
One day we're going to an episode on Game of Thrones. It's going to be why is Jon Snow the worst general ever and how shit the ending was. Claire, you're going to start watching Game of Thrones.
You said that
Back
a
at
few
this again, I
times.
think. Upsilon Andromeda B is another exoplanet. It's probably tidally locked to its host star, completing an orbit in just under 5 days. What makes this planet, which was previously known as Sapphire,
It's a better name.
an extreme world, is a radical difference in temperature between its day side and night side. While the day side experiences temperatures as high as 2,912 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 1600 Celsius, the night side is considerably cooler, reaching temperatures as low as -4 degrees Fahrenheit, that's -20 degrees C.
We could survive that.
Yeah.
-20.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't do the 1,600.
No, we'd have to stay on the one side. We could do that. -20.
This one's spinning though. It's not.
No, it's always in one side.
It's like that other planet, is it? Always on one side again.
Yeah.
Okay.
-20 though, we could live on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to the hot side on holiday.
Not come back.
Look at my tan, babe! It's
Still sizzling. It's like charcoal steak.
I was 2 miles within the hot side.
Yeah, actually, there's surely a point where it hits some kind of temperate zone.
Yeah, I was 2 miles. I got that close.
Yeah, it'd be a thin strip, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Around the...
That'd be like the beach
Yeah.
and the farmland. Planet. Black holes, extreme exoplanets. The most extreme exoplanets may not form their own stars at all, but instead could orbit supermassive black holes. I was trying to do a muse there. Planets form from the gravitational collapse of overdense areas of protoplanetary clouds of gas and dust, and supermassive black holes at the start of active galactic nuclei.
At the heart.
At the heart of it, or at AGN, sit at the centre of massive churning disks of such materials. Currently there is no evidence that such black hole orbiting planets or planets actually exist, but recent research modelling the dynamics of these disks of gas and dust does suggest that under certain conditions planet formation should occur in such regions. Should such processes occur, planets would form much further out from supermassive black holes than most planets do from their parent star. So distant, in fact, it could take 1 million years for such a world to complete an orbit.
Wow.
Radiation from the AGN, the active galactic nuclei, could provide a constant supply of fresh material for planet formation, with the result of this could be runaway formation, meaning planets would reach sizes much more like Titanic than regular exoplanets. So a planet is a bigger planet, and a black hole planet.
Yeah.
Going round a black hole.
Yeah.
Theoretical at the moment, but interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Some youth intern come up with that. We'll call it planets.
Good at planets. Like Brinner, breakfast for dinner. You have a fry up for your tea.
Isn't that just brunch?
No, brunch is midday. No later than 11 brunch.
Yeah.
So what's Brinner then?
Brinner's and you just have your tea, but it's just a fry up. Or you have ice cream bacon.
Ice cream bacon?
Yeah, get your ice cream out in scoops and you cook some bacon, stick it in the ice cream, Brinner. Breakfast for dinner. You know what Scrubs?
No.
Oh, I'll explain it.
I watched.
Turk invents Brinner where he mixes breakfast and dinner. So he has like bacon
Why
ice
cream and...
I'd have bacon ice cream, wouldn't you? That'd be fucking delicious.
Bacon is good with sweet shit, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fry up with chips. That's how you have it as your tea, isn't it?
Yeah, you just put some chips
Chips
with
with
it.
it, and then it's your tea, isn't it?
They do that in the south, apparently. English breakfast normally always includes chips.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does
I
it?
like it.
I'll
Better than
call
hash
that
browns.
Brinner.
I don't like a hash brown though.
I like
Fair
hash browns.
chips though. If they're nice chips, I'd pick chips over hash browns. All
It
day.
depends. I like it. I like
having
it.
chips
I
with
just
No,
like it at breakfast on its own.
I like a crispy
toast.
hash brown with breakfast. I wouldn't have over chips. A nice crispy ash brown, and if it's got cheese in the middle, even better.
What the
You remember-
fuck? Where's that come from?
Audi.
Cheesy ash browns.
Wow.
They're the same shape as the Twinkies we had the other night. And he's got a hash brown Twinkie with cheese in the middle.
Never.
Yeah, because the other night we as Brits tasted Twinkies for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
To our
Yeah.
American friends out there, well jealous.
Yeah.
Cost us £1 for one Twinkie. Well, actually, cost Ben £4 for 4 Twinkies.
They were good though.
They were
just knocked
nice.
in your mouth, didn't they?
But it's like £1 for one of those little things. It's like,
I
well,
thought you'd get 5 in the packet for £1.
No, I think they're quite big. I think £1 is too much. I think like maybe 50p, 75p.
I think if they're 50p,
But
get 2 for £1, fair dues.
Yeah.
Because I bet in America, let us know if you ever want to, but how much is Twinkies in America? Do they cost you like a couple of dollars for a multi-pack or something, or what is
I
it?
don't know what they
I
are.
hope it'd be a quarter.
Fucking delicious, and I will. If you want to post me some, because apparently Twinkies will survive every apocalypse,
Yeah, man.
Hoard them.
as well as being a unit of measurement for the paranormal activity in New York City.
Is it?
Well, is it Ghostbusters? Egan says, "Imagine a Twinkie," and he holds a Twinkie up. And he's like, "No, imagine this Twinkie's like the amount of paranormal activity and how busy we've been. This Twinkie will be like 35 yards wide and weigh 200 tons or something like that." Yeah, that's a big Twinkie. So.
Yes.
Apparently NASA's going to find over 12,000 alien planets by 2024, including dozens of Earth-like worlds.
Yeah, so this exoplanets we've just done is just part 1. Because we're going to get to learn more and more as we put up more advanced space telescopes to find these planets.
So we haven't found one that's Earth-like yet with our sort of temperatures, but in the future we are because of these telescopes.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's the idea.
That's what they predict.
Then we'll all get on the penis rocket.
Launched 4 years ago, the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, or the TESS, is a space telescope designed to hunt for undiscovered worlds, and it's surging an area of sky 400 times larger than that covered by the Kepler mission in a bid to find candidates that could host alien life. So far, TESS has found nearly 5,000 worlds of all shapes and sizes, including gas giants, Neptune-like ice worlds, and so-called super-Earths. They wear capes, you see. A super-Earth has a mass higher than our planets, below those of the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. A paper published online last month predicted the number of exoplanets that TESS will find over the course of its 7-year mission, and researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, made their calculations using data collected by the $287 million spacecraft to date. In total, the researchers expect the discovery of 4,719 exoplanets from TESS's prime mission, which ran from 2018 to 2020, and a further 3,707 and 4,093 worlds will emerge from its first and second extended missions that will run from 2022 to 2024, and at a staggering total of 12,519 exoplanets, including dozens of Earth-like worlds that may or may not host alien microbes, or means we can go and live on them, or conquer them for the good of humanity.
I don't like the sound of conquering.
Sorry, Claire, we're going to need that space.
Imagine if we did find a planet though and it had like, it was just like primitive Earth, and it was just basically a big blank canvas just for us to fuck up like we've done this, but
We start shifting everybody over.
give ourselves a few more million years kind of thing.
Unless we like get really, really good at reproducing and recycling and or 3D printing shit, we're always going to strip whatever we need from whatever planet we're on, aren't we? Because that's the only way we know how to make stuff. Resources make things.
Yep.
So is it going to be a case of we outstrip one planet, we move to the next like a swarm of locusts? Or is it we go out there and we try and make agri-worlds, so most temperate worlds has to be given over to farming to feed other planets in the system that aren't as habitable?
In the future that'll probably be what it's like. Yeah.
Basically, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, and what the whole planet to come together and do it. It can't just be one country doing it.
Oh, we're miles away from it.
we really do need to look at it as like we're on one planet. If we want the species to survive,
Want the life on the planet to survive, yeah.
we need to get off this planet. We need to, you know.
We need to save this planet first.
No, let's just get off it and find another. We'll Thanos
Can't
this
get
shit.
there, can we?
No, we're gonna kind of Thanos it.
You live in fucking cuckoo land, didn't you?
Yes, like I usually am. That's what I do. That's my thing.
This is the only planet we know that is
We set off now.
our type of life.
We set off now.
Go on then. There you get on.
He's getting imagine.
No,
I'll
like
stay here.
inbred, about 400 people at the other end.
All looking like Ben.
And what greater society would that be? What could there ever be?
As each one's younger models of each will have like an extra limb or somewhere like a couple of them have got like a hand coming out of their forehead and that because it's so inbred over the years.
What a great society that would be if they're all from my genetic stock.
Jesus.
Can you imagine them high-fiving each other, just like headbutting each other with their head hands?
I'm imagining minions.
Oh, that is harsh. It'll be a race of Aryan Supermen. That's what they'd be.
They're just
Clearly,
sick talking.
be a bunch of tall, blue-eyed gods who worship me.
The inbred version of you is tall, blonde, blue-eyed, like Nordic.
It's all sorting itself out over the course of things.
Fair enough.
There was a stage of people with heads on foreheads, and then it went spread out.
It weeded itself out.
It weeded itself out, and we got away with it.
Now, before we end the episode, we should mention that according to some people, there are other planets out there, aren't there?
There are,
Not inhabited by aliens.
indeed, most notable ones: the Draco system, the Reptilians' home world.
The one where that really dark planet was.
Yeah,
Yep.
so
Zeta Reticuli.
and Zeta Reticuli, which we do know about, where the Greys' home world apparently.
Okay.
Right, the little creepy sexist men that break in your house and anally probe you and abduct you and stuff.
There's also the planet the Xenomorphs are from and aliens as well.
LV-426.
It's in the Zeta Reticuli system, though,
It is, isn't it? Shit, yeah. Check out our alien episode. It is, you're right. Zeta Reticuli, so we're 40,000 light years away, something like that. And of course, let's not forget, Project Serpo.
Yeah.
When humans went on an exchange mission to the planet Serpo, allegedly, with the aliens.
Check out our episode on that.
Yeah. That's one to look into, guys, if you're interested. When a human and aliens did an exchange project. And
Didn't go well, did it?
It did.
Most of the humans died.
No, there was 12 went, I think a couple died, a couple stayed, and like 8 came home.
I remember it differently.
Well, you would because you were biased towards it. I believe in it. It's true, that is. Project Serpo, check it out. Alright, let's end the show on some fucked up facts.
Jingle, please.
Facts, fucked up facts.
Nice.
Whatever someone to do another one. When at Eton, George Orwell wanted to help a friend get revenge on a bully.
Right.
So he made a wax figure out of him, broke off its right leg, and a few days later the bully broke his leg playing football.
So George Orwell made a voodoo doll
Yeah.
of this bully.
Quality.
Apparently.
Surprises
Well,
me.
bollocks.
Probably. It's not much of a fact then, is it, if it's bollocks?
Well,
That's just called fucked up facts, Mike. We need
It
facts.
probably happened, but it was just complete coincidence.
Yeah.
But still, good, nice
Or
coincidence.
he's a voodoo priest.
Conjecture.
Voodoo lady.
Oh yeah. Give me a voodoo lady any day of the
It's creme brulee, innit?
week. It is. But still, give me a voodoo lady any day of the week.
Boredom makes people behave more sadistically.
I did start killing more civilians on card when I was in lockdown.
I wondered where you were going with that. When I was in the TA, I did start killing more civilians on downtime night. I was just walking around Telford with my SA-80s, like, I'm bored. Fuck it.
Well, that's not why I was investigated for war crimes at The Hague.
Oh shit.
Yeah, when I really got into, I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey during lockdown, it was just before Valhalla came out. By the end, I did start killing more innocent people. Because I was the highest ranked mercenary in the land, and no one could touch me who was going to try and hunt me down. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm done now.
It's like on Fable when we went bad.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, can't do the missions, always get bored, start seeing I'm hacking my wanted level up by just gunning down people.
It's
See how long I can evade the police for?
I always in Fable when you want to go bad, it's just like, I'm sick of being good. Eat some crunchy chicks. Kill. Spend 10 minutes just killing random civilians, and you'll have big horns. It's like, that was quick. It's like go from innocent angel with a bloody halo over your head to full on
Dark
demon.
side.
Like,
Well, 10 minutes of killing civilians, I mean, that's how many civilians are you killing in 10 minutes?
oh, at least 100.
There you go, I'd imagine that's enough.
Don't forget the crunchy chicks.
And the crunchy chicks.
Next.
Next fact. In 1900, Argentina had a tax on unmarried men.
That's a
That's
shitter.
fucked up. Yeah.
But men whose proposals were turned down were exempt from the tax.
Oh, so you
So
just
you
propose to some random woman.
You just ask everyone to marry
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Can you marry me? No.
Well, enterprising women promptly set up businesses where they would reject men's proposals so they could be exempt from the tax. So you pay
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
Paid her a bit.
I don't know what the...
Will you marry
ask
me?
me to marry it. Ask me to marry it. I'll say no, and then I'll make it quite public that I've said no,
Yeah.
and you give me X amount a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me every week.
No, we one on off transaction, I imagine.
Or one on one a year.
Like a $5's worth or something.
I wonder how long
50 quid or something.
I wonder how long it would last. Like the.
Probably a year. It's usually a tax year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you
So
ask,
you-
ask someone to marry on the 1st of April.
Mhm.
They turn you down. You go, oh, yeah, she said no. Next year comes. I fell in love with this woman again. She said no. Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is that why Italians are just like, hey baby, I love you, marry me?
Possibly.
If they're from Argentina, yeah. From 1900 as well. Specifically during... I don't imagine it lasted long, this tax.
Probably not.
After the loopholes were
No,
found.
it can rub off on generations, Mike.
All the way in Italy.
Not the accent or the law.
In order to test in-flight Wi-Fi, Boeing fills their planes with potatoes.
Why?
I've heard that before. I've heard
That's no way to talk about their passengers.
because of the conductiveness of them, and they've got the same weight and mass as people, because it's like the water levels in them and things
So you
like
stick
that.
like a sack of potatoes on each seat.
Because of the water, it's like pretty much the same water content, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Potatoes interfere with signals the same way as a human body.
Okay.
Right, so they just use them for testing and see if
Yeah.
they're...
Yeah, I have heard that before. Not that particular, like on aeroplanes, but I've
Yeah.
heard about potatoes being used as human dummies,
The
essentially.
project was called Synthetic Personnel Using Dielectric Substitution.
Spuds.
Yeah.
Oh, I these potatoes during those nuclear bomb tests, eh? Instead of people. Servicemen. Civilians, fishermen. Oh, if I'd have done that, eh? Potatoes out instead. And all those animals.
Well, in that circumstance, probably pig carcasses. If you want to see...
They had pigs and live pigs and goats and everything on there.
Yeah.
Chickens, all sorts.
Potatoes are just cheaper, though, aren't they?
10 dogs for space as well, aren't
Was it? Yeah, dogs and chimps.
Potatoes behave better, though.
they? Yeah.
Potatoes in space!
They can't quite relay information back, but they're really well behaved. They do sit when they're told.
Conversation's very limited.
I like it.
No one knows if spiders fart.
I'm speechless.
Why wouldn't they know if they can dissect one and have a look at its digestive
Anal glands and
No,
such.
digestive system. Surely they could,
No, spiders are hell-like creatures. The only way to deal with spiders is to burn your house down.
I like them.
I fucking
Kill
hate
flies.
spiders. Hate them. There's one in my room, it's dead. has the temerity to come into my fucking space, it's dead.
I can't even kill flies. I don't
They
kill.
fucked off in the summer.
They all come in the summer.
They come in at the end of the summer.
At the end of the summer, you have fucking loads. No, don't want that. They
Can't
die.
make it through the winter.
I don't care if they make it through the winters. There's too many of them. Get rid of them. Don't like them.
Totally cut something out of like the food chain.
Well, they can do what they want as long as they don't come in my room or anywhere I live. They stay at my house. I'm fine with them. They can do what they want.
Apparently, Pinocchio's nose, when
Yeah.
he extends when he tells a lie, there's some truth in that.
Right.
Because in 2012, research at the University of Granada showed that the temperature of people's noses increases when they tell a lie. Therefore, I guess it expands a bit.
I guess so. Blood rushes to it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a millimetre.
Yeah, I know, but it's got some truth in it.
Yeah.
Do you think Geppetto abused Pinocchio?
Yeah. I would have had a go with that nose.
It's the way you said yeah then, like, yeah. As if like, if I was Geppetto.
If I could make a wooden boy come to
I'd be
life,
spinning on that nose.
tell me a lie, you little bastard.
Lie, you bastard.
You need to dildo.
Terrible.
Oh dear. Want to see
Pinocchio.
my butt plug? I'm a real boy!
Yeah, that's the thing. Why don't you draw the ethical line there?
Oh, shit. Mike, you're sick.
Next fact.
Go on
Yes,
then.
please.
At the 2012 Olympics, beach volleyball players complained because squirrels kept hiding acorns in the venue's sand.
Yeah. I did love the women's beach volleyball though. It's my favourite Olympic event.
They would do it though, wouldn't they? Barefoot.
That's
on
going to
there.
come
Yeah,
sharp,
they
that
would.
is.
Yeah. Well, clearly the sand wasn't being raked often enough.
What they should have done is they should have had some kind of cover over it, simples.
All
Well,
the
they
racing-
did it at Horse Guards, which has got a sandy front anyway. They just added more sand for the volleyball, so I guess schools are probably doing their business in that age because just paths through in it.
I think the raking person just needs to up the game.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm with you. The raking guy needs to up his game,
And a tarp.
and a tarp
You
would
don't
help.
need a tarp, you just need the guy to do his job properly.
I mean, if you just put a tarp over it at night, done.
Why don't you just get a squirrel sniper? What's that?
Hire a couple of peregrine falcons or something just to like hunt squirrels.
Yeah.
Next.
During World War II, Max von Laue and James Frank's Nobel Prize medals were dissolved in acid and sat on a shelf in a Danish lab to hide them from the Nazis. Later, the gold was recovered and the medals were recast.
Cool.
Cool, but why?
To hide them.
Well, are they going to steal them? I mean,
Yeah!
why?
Steal
No, then the
them,
gold,
or-
didn't they? Took all the gold teeth at the Jews and
Oh
everything.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Seems a bit petty to go after a medal though, when you got all those people there with their teeth and
They were
stuff.
medals from the opposition, wasn't it, as well?
I don't know.
Nobel prizes are issued in Switzerland, aren't they?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Either way, it's kind of cool. Well, it's not cool. It's terrible. That had to happen.
SpaceX's satellite dishes are heated to prevent snow buildup.
They must be quite low. Oh, no.
No, on the ground.
Ah. Oh, cool.
Sat the dishes, yeah.
A lot of football pitches are as well.
Yeah, that's
blew my
true.
mind.
American cats have discovered this and are curling up on the dishes to warm themselves on a cold day, interrupting streaming services.
Yeah.
Feline snipers. For the dishes.
We'll use bald eagles for that one.
Yeah.
Did I just hear an eagle screech? Means freedom.
Freedom of streaming.
Freedom full stop. That happens every time an eagle screeches, it means freedom.
Maybe it's just more pussy trying to get on the internet. Innit?
You'd be pissed off if your cat was killed on your satellite dish or you trying to have a wank though, wouldn't you?
Pussy's pussy.
Yeah, but it's interrupting your streaming.
Some kids have chucked eggs at my satellite dish.
Little bastards.
You can see them. Oh, fucking like, you know, because they did it on a frosty day, so they're frosty, so they stuck to it. Luckily, we're not on Skyline. I'm Virgin, but I was just like little bastards. Should I paint us like, you know, a target on there? That'd be quite funny. Give them something to do in it.
If you want eggs dribbling down your house, it's not just the winter they're going to do it. If you put a target on your house, it's going to be the summer as well. You want to be sat in your garden or isn't you?
Eggs come over.
Eggs dribbling down the
They
wall.
don't know what I've got on my side of the fence though, do they?
That's true. Could have some kind of catapult or trebuchet.
A shit
Yeah.
catapult.
A shit catapult.
Yeah.
2
I've
dogs.
got 2 dogs.
Paying shit.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Next fact.
Yep.
Minnesota has added new snowplows to their fleet. Joining Plowy McPlowface are No Mr. Ice Guy,
Oh,
Edward Blizzard Hands,
nice.
Control Salt Delete,
I like that one.
amongst others.
Plowy McPlowface is ripping off boat in a boat face, isn't it? Yeah, still, never let the public name anything. I've heard there was one in the UK called
It didn't
David.
even get named it though.
No, it didn't. It was
They
a.
didn't name it. They basically vetoed it.
Yeah. There's a gritcher in the UK called David Plowy. I think it's some county in Scotland has got like 167 gritters and they let the public name them all.
Wow. In 2018, Munafri Arifudin ran unopposed for mayor of Makassar, Indonesia. He lost the election to none of the above.
How do you lose an election when it's just you? Just
There's a
nobody
box
vote?
saying none of the above and everyone ticked that.
Oh, okay.
Didn't want him that badly.
We don't want any of them.
What a twat.
Anarchy is the only way. Okay, I'll end on this one then. There are no fewer than 7 mountains called Molly's Nipple in Utah.
Who was Molly?
She must have been.
She must have had big nipples.
Wasn't she?
Hey, you see that mountain over there? Reminds you of Molly's nipple. Let's call it that.
Maybe they're all just being mistaken. There's only one Molly's nipple, but they're all like, you know.
Or maybe it was just they were all discovered by one guy who was obsessed with Molly's nipples.
No, that's a possibility too.
Well, that one looks like Molly's nipple. Well, I saw him that one. Oh, and that one too. Look that there. Molly's nipple. Yeah.
Well done, you just alienated half our listenership.
Pete was doing the crazy cook guy on the wagon train impression then. That's what the crazy cook guy always sounds like, isn't it?
Yeah.
One with the big beard and he never gets out of his long johns. Yeah, that's that voice. Not pioneer settler.
No, definitely not.
Crazy bearded man in his long johns voice.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's move on quickly. Thank you very much for listening. I've been Ben. Don't drink the flavour aid, don't join the cult, and follow us on Facebook at Cunt the Bull and the Post-Truth Apocalypse. SoundCloud on Cunt the Bull and the PTA, that's where you can find us on most of the platforms under that name. And YouTube, doing one at the moment, Apocalypse Bull.
I've been Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out, may the force be with you.
I've been Claire, keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
I've been Pete. Aim high, shoot low.